Will, appreciate you being with us. Will Benson, outfielder with Cleveland Indians, Westminster grad here in town in Atlanta. Obviously played baseball here. Did you play any other sports in high school?
Yeah, I did. I played basketball. That was my favorite.
Okay, so basketball.
I'm sorry, my bad. It's because connection. No, yeah, but I played basketball throughout high school. It was my favorite sport. All the way growing up, honestly, until to the very end. It was my my area where I could really get away from everything and really just go out and ball, honestly.
Right. So did you play all through high school? So senior year, finished it out,
Yeah,
and then baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the way to my senior year.
So
my last game was in the state playoffs.
Okay. So in 2015, you were part of the 18U U.S. national baseball team. How did that play out throughout the year? Tell me a little bit about the USA team, the selection process, all of that stuff.
So the selection process was honestly crazy. It was surreal because you're around so many good players, and you see other people like on the Perfect Game and on all the websites and stuff like that. And everybody was there. And then for me to go out there and to show my ability to show out and show that I was one of the better players there, it was one of the cool moments. And so you obviously have the multiple selections as you go down, and I'm praying every night, holding my breath, like, God, please let me represent USA. And my answers were my prayers were answered. And every selection process, after that deep breath, I got my name called. Bam, I'm there. And so now we're over in Taiwan, we're in California, doing some exhibition games, just kind of mingling in again, like another place where I still have to make my mark and show like, hey, I need to be starting, when we go overseas and win this title, because of course, either way, I want to be there for my country and help them, but I want to be a part of, the winning, a part of what's going on. So now we're in California exhibition, playing, very good talent again. And then we go over to Taiwan, which is, it's a real experience. So here I am, and I'm in a whole different environment, a whole different culture of people. And at the same time, I'm here to focus and win a gold medal. So we got to Taiwan, it was hotel, field, bam. And that was what it was. And then we went over to Japan. Same ordeal. It's we're there on business trip, and it was kind of cool though. Still, again, we had a couple of days to venture off and to see other things. But at the end of the day, it was a blessing. It was so much fun. All the guys, I still talk to them all to this day. We're all very close. It was a brotherhood for sure.
Yeah. What was your best memory of that experience?
I had two. The obvious one is when I'm sitting there, I'm holding a trophy, and it's like a surreal moment again. It's like you see, like, oh my God, all my hard work's paying off.
Right.
The same thing too. It's like, oh my God, I'm holding, the gold, gold. I'm holding something that represents, my country's won. So that was really cool. And then I would say that this is one that's behind the scenes. But I remember when we were on the bus in Japan, and we weren't playing to our full potential. And I'll never forget it. One of the coaches on the bus, and he laid us out. He was like, "Hey, I can't believe you guys come over here. You're not giving it all. Like, we're over here representing the country, yada yada yada." And then we just all got inspired after that moment. So I'll never forget it, because that's the same drive that that I can kind of tap into to this day. So.
I can't imagine the amount of baseball athletes that would love to have that opportunity. I think everybody would love to play for their country. Now, so after that, you end up getting drafted 14th overall from the Cleveland Indians, and you were part of the live set up there for the Major League Draft. And again, what an amazing opportunity to be a part of that. I think anybody who plays baseball would love to be on that stage and be there actually live while they're doing the first round of the draft. Tell us a little bit about that and how that felt.
Again, it's another blessing. It's another thing to add to the storybook of Will. It was crazy. Again, obviously, it's every kid's dream to be there, and to be that moment. And to be honest, to my shock, there weren't that year. It was only two. It was me and Ian Anderson. So it wasn't anything I thought it was going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be a bunch of top tier players all up top, up front, trying to get drafted. But it was just me and Ian up there. And so it didn't feel like I was on an island, but it still felt like you just get a chilling sensation. And then obviously when they called my name, I'm sitting there and it's just a rush of adrenaline just went all through my body. And here I am in front of millions of people that are watching this draft now, and my name is on the board. And like, here we go. Like, this is again another chapter in the book. Like, another one knocked down. So it was a blessing. To see my family, to see my mother and my father just so happy. It was good to see, and obviously, the phone blowing up and stuff like that. But it was honestly surreal experience. It was a blessing. It was crazy.
So now that you're in minor league baseball, you're going through that process. You're working your way through the organization. Last year, you split time between low A and high A. Talk to us a little bit about the grind, but also that it's a transition in the middle of a year when you go from one city, one coaching staff to another city and new coaching and new coaching staff. How did you handle that? Not only physically and as a baseball player, but mentally. How did you get through that?
Well, either way, split time or not, to play 144 games or how many ever it is in a year is always tough. And then obviously it makes it even a little bit tougher when you split half and half. And especially, I mean, there's no shame in it. Obviously, there's a difference in terms of performance too when I went to high A, because it was harder. It was more of a challenge.
Sure.
But the biggest thing that that was telling is like your routines and stuff are altered heavily. You're in different ballparks. The times are slightly different, and obviously the coaches are different. So what they require, what they ask of you are different. But at the same thing, what doesn't change is what you can't control, and that's what I had to learn and had to grasp from going from low A to high A, is that you got to control what you can control. Like, I understand that, hey, you may not be able to get as much BPM today, but you can control the quality of work at which you get. You can control your focus. And so, a lot of times, and it wasn't just myself, it was other players as well. And this could happen even if you're not transitioning, but at times you can lose focus where you kind of go through the motions and not realize and understand that, hey, like, the end goal is still to perform, and you got stuff to do, regardless if you're in high A, low A, or double A. You still need to get yourself ready to go every day. So that's what I say. The only thing that was kind of tricky was the routine situation. But honestly, the ballparks were just as good. The altitude and stuff like that was a little different. The ball didn't fly as much in high A, but those are those little things that you really can't control. So there it is.
Right. So I mean, with the transition, you still had a really good year. Ranked second in his organization in the minor leagues with 78 RBIs. You were fifth in home runs with 22. That's incredible, outstanding. Tell us about what you do every day to get better. What is it that Will Benson does every day, no matter what the day is, to get better, to be a better hitter, better baseball player? What is that?
To get your mind in the right place. You can be as talented, you can be as athletic as you want, but if your mind's not in the right place, then it doesn't apply. So for me to be at my best, and what I try to get better at day in and day out, is to be mentally prepared every single day, and to make sure that obviously I'm getting myself mentally prepared, but also physically prepared every single day, to where, one, I have the upper hand of the player who doesn't get ready every day, who doesn't take the time to do the extra stuff, and then obviously I'm gonna outwork think and outwork the players that simply don't even tap into that into that side of themselves. I try to be obviously mentally sharp, but mentally relaxed at all times, to be at my best and to make sure that's something that I know that allows me to be better every day.
So, a long season, 144 games in the minor leagues, you're going through ups and downs. You're going through, 0 for 12s, 4 for 4s, a couple home runs. How do you mentally approach that? I mean, obviously it's kind of a bunch of waves through. that, for these young athletes that are out there that, get frustrated by going 0 for 4, what is it that you could say to them, or you would say, hey, look, this is how I handle an 0 for 4, an 0 for 12, or a slump or whatever?
And to be honest, I mean, here I am in pro ball. That's something I still struggle with to this day. But what I've learned that's helped me a lot is to understand that tomorrow is going to be a whole different new day. And even still, like, asking that question, there's a lot of other, players that I ask that same question too. And a lot of them say, and this is what I do as well, is I know that the next day I'm going to get a hit, or I'm going to do well, or I'm going to, I'm going to do well. Like, this day doesn't dictate good or bad. Let's say I had a really good day or a really bad day. That doesn't matter, because tomorrow's a whole new day. And, and then there's a whole new opportunity, a whole new chance to do something completely different. So,
right.
And it's kind of, it's kind of a cliche, or whatever you want to call it, but, a 4 home run day is the same as a 0-4 day for me. Like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because the next day, I still need to be there for my team. I still need to perform. So,
right.
Slump or no slump, know that you're the best player on the field every day. Know that tomorrow you're probably going to ball out anyways. So, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's such a great thing to tell young athletes too. Is just because, I mean, you've achieved so much in your young career now, but you're still learning. You're still asking questions. You're still trying to figure out how to become better. And I think that sometimes gets lost, especially with some success at every level. Some guys start to think, oh, well, I got this figured out. And baseball is one of those humbling games that I don't think you ever really figure it out. I think you're always learning, no matter how old, and be out of the game like myself. It's a crazy game like that.
For sure. I would agree with that.
Tell us about the grind of the minor leagues. I remember way back when I was there, probably ballparks are maybe a little bit better, but, there's still the PB&J you got to eat. You got your spread killers and your roach motels and everything else. Tell us a little bit about that grind, and maybe shed some light on the less glamorous part about being a professional baseball player.
It's probably upside down. I can't do that. Well, I'll tell you this for sure. I actually had my first experience. I'd say first, the Indians do a really good job of taking care of their players. So, organizationally, I've been blessed. I haven't had many of those road issues, but I actually experienced it for my first time in high A, where everyone on the team got a stomach virus, which was pretty crazy. But for the most part, no, man. That's why I kudos to the Indians and what they do for their minor league players. When we're on the road, they make it really easy for us to go out every day and perform. From the nutrition side, strength and conditioning side, honestly, the mental side, whatever you need, they make it easy for us to do our job. So that, again, in that aspect, I've been blessed. But there are some times where you have your rough ones, and that's when you have Pizza Hut or something that night to munch on.
Right. Right. What time do you get to the park, and then what time do you generally leave the park? So what's a day look like?
Man, I'll tell you. Okay, let's see. It starts early, so I get up early. We don't really have to be at the ballpark until usually around 1 o'clock. It depends on obviously start time, but let's say a normal start time of 7. I'm there at 1, or we're supposed to be there at 1. I get there around 12. Like I said, to do all my stuff that I need to do, to get the stretch, to get all that, just to get mentally and physically prepared to take on the day. Then that lines me up for the 1 o'clock when we're supposed to be there. I kind of go in. Sometimes I go in early, sometimes not. Sometimes I just hang out with the guys. But on a really productive day, I'll go in, get some early work before our actual early work starts. Then do the early work around 2, 3, and then we head out to do on-field BP. I know it's a long list. It don't stop, honestly. On-field BP at 3. That goes until 4:35, and then we have a break. We go in, relax again. That's the time where I just kind of get my mind off of everything, just to relax, hang out with friends, just enjoy that moment before it's time to go to war. With those guys. Game time at 7. We play until, on a good night, we'll play until. We had, when I went to Lynchburg, man, we had some long nights. But on a quick, efficient night, we be done around 10:30, and bam, I'm back home around 12, because I have to do my post stuff. So I'm in the tub, getting stretched out, stuff like that, and then bam, I'm back in my bed at 12, going to sleep. So. Oh yeah, it's all over again. It's all over again.
It's a vicious cycle, and I only mention it just a lot for our younger athletes that are watching. It's just the amount of work that you have to do every day is incredible, and it's
and what
that's
they
what.
don't get, what's crazy, what they don't get, the hard part is how mundane it gets. It's so routine to the point where it's almost boring, and you can get lazy with it.
Yeah,
And you're playing
complacent.
with the go and go day. It's hard, and you think, oh, it's easy. You do the same thing every day, but once you get to day 30 and you haven't had your all day yet, it's just like, oh God, like here we go again. And don't tell. Like, you're not.
Yeah,
There's so
you're
many
waiting for
factors that keep off your regimen, but you got to
you're
take
waiting
it.
for the rain to come.
Yes, they true. Yeah. Hey, good thing in the Carolina League they had a lot
Yeah,
of those.
it's
So
it's almost you're waiting for that rain to come so you can go see a movie and act like a normal person. Yeah,
exactly. Get a
yeah.
day under your
Well,
mouth
that's
once in a
right.
while.
So I love it. So as far as guys you played with or against, what's the guy that you've played against or with that you're like, wow, that dude's a stud, man. That guy's gonna be there. Who is that?
They're funny. Two of them are already in the league, and the third one is pretty close. I knew since we were kids that Bo was something special. When we played the All American game, he's the person that stood out to me. And not only just by the player he was, obviously, but just the person he was. It was just incredible. And look at him now. Bless that kid. I mean, I hope he does more because I know he's gonna do marvelous things. So
Yeah,
kudos to him. And then the other player is Jesus Luzardo. That's the only pitcher that like hands down I ever faced, and it was like, okay, well, I mean, he's just better than me. He's just better than me at that moment. I mean, I couldn't do anything. It was that point where I was happy I made contact. Like he was getting everybody out, and I had ground out to him. I
right.
was like, I was like, okay, thanks.
That was a
And
that was a win.
yeah, it was a win for me. And the last person is Alex Kirilloff. He's with the Twins. Like I say, he's probably gonna be on his way to the big leagues. What the times we're in, he'll probably be there.
Right.
But I saw him play in an All-Star game my first year at Lake County, and it was he was just different. There's guys that are different. Their swing is smoother than ours. He was different. He was different at that time, and you can tell that he
Right.
was at another level. And that's a guy like even in me, the competitive side of me hates saying it, but it's like, okay, I need to work to get like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he was different for sure.
It's amazing that with the success that you had and everything else. I mean, it almost seems like there's always a guy above you and always a guy below you pushing you, and
Yeah.
and that's the way baseball is, and it's an amazing game in that respect. You never reach the top unless you're, let's call it, either Mike Trout or like a Mookie Betts,
Exactly.
and
It's to that point. Like there's always a new kid on the block. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's why it's so cool to see that the Ken Griffey's, the Albert Pujols, you know what I mean, the Derek Jeters, who like even with the new kid on the block, you're still the talking subject. You're still the guy that everybody wants to to see everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and that inspires me like that. Even like watching the Michael Jordan documentary, it's like these guys are of excellence, and it's because they have an impact on the game, they have impact on people. And when you put those two things together, it's like bam, here we go, stardom. And then that stuff like that like drives me. So it's like when you see guys who have that piece of they're really good at the game. It's like you want to strive to be just as good as them, and then hopefully I'll one day be elevating their game or elevating the kid
Right.
behind looking up to me saying, oh, I want to be just as good as Will. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of is a domino effect. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, I tell you, if I look at young athletes, and I ask you this question, for you, any advice for kids out there and athletes, high school athletes, everybody on reaching their dreams, and like, how did that work for you? Like, I have this dream and I want to do it. What did you put into that? How can they do that?
It's a plan, it's a process. So I think you're going to go through different times in your life. You're going to have different advices that you're going to need at that time. So like, if I was a high school kid now, what advice would I give to them? Trust the process and outwork the man next to you. That to me is what got me above above my peers. You see what I'm saying? It's like I can sit there and look at my teammates and say, I outwork you, so I don't have to worry about even like it's a confidence thing. It's like if I know I'm working hard, like all this stuff, all this energy and all this work I'm putting into is going to carry over to the game. I'm going to carry over to it. And it's like, and I believe that, hey, it's karma. What you put in is what you get out. Now that'd be the biggest thing at that age. And let's say you're a kid now who, you know, you've done your time, you're about to get, you know, drafted to go off to college. Now, especially if you're a freshman, it's like, now I'm in a new area. Now I'm in a new state of mind. I would tell, especially my old self, to be patient. Like don't rush to try to get there. Don't rush to be that starting, you know, that starting shortstop. Don't rush. Work to get there. It's like here, I am, you know, a 17-year-old kid in pro ball saying I need to get some big leagues. If I hit this right now, I'm gonna get, like, no, you're not. I could have hit 500. I may have gone to low A, but I want to go to the big league. Like it didn't happen. I mean, for some guys it does. You know what I mean? For some people it does. But
right situation.
But you know what I'm saying? So whatever your process is, trust in that, and don't look at someone else and think that's how it has to be done, because that's not the case. It's all about you, and it's all about, you know, your journey to get to where you're going to be. Because it can't be your story if you're worried about someone else's. It's not possible. Yeah,
that's incredible advice. Really good advice. Absolutely. So you've been around, obviously now 4 years, I think, minor league baseball, and you've been with a bunch of with coaches in Team USA and all of this. Who, like, do you have a guy or a mentor or a coach that you know, wow, this guy's really helped me out and he's kind of changed my path, changed my career? Do you have a guy like that?
There's so many people, to be honest, but to have that effect, no, I mean, it had to be my parents. Those are the only, like my mom, even more so, to be even more like hone in, like my mom is the sole person that holds me accountable, you know, that keeps everything in line for me. But when it came to baseball and it came to, you know, the real stuff, the advice and the lessons are literally from me. You see what I'm saying? I learned based off me. Like, I failed off me. I succeeded off me. And I don't want to sound selfish about that. Like I said, I've already given credit to my mother.
Yeah.
But there was no coach, there was no mentor, no anyone that really directed, like, put me in the direction that I wanted to go. It was all self-driven. I think that's where greatness starts. It's all self-driven.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. And family.
I'm not saying that to say, like, hey, don't look up to, you know, so-and-so, you know what I mean? But I think the biggest teacher is gonna be life. Life is gonna be your biggest teacher. That's gonna be your best mentor. You just gotta listen, gotta be patient, gotta observe.
Well, I tell you this, I hope everybody that's watching this live is listening, because you're giving a lot of gold out here, and that's the truth. And it tells you. I think it tells you who you are as a person too, and just an incredible story and really cool. But I do have one thing. So I understand that you rap. Is this true? And you throw some bars.
I got a couple bars, but
okay, let's do it.
All right. Okay. I'm in the A like T, trying to get straight to the league. Got to see, got to believe. Only getting to the green. Got some from overseas. Call of Duty King was free. Quarantine staying clean. That's all I got.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome, man. Hey, I put you on the spot too, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, good. Well, good. Listen, I tell you what, I've got a great little section that I do. It's called the Aroldis Chapman Fuego Round. Okay, so it's coming in hot. You know, about 103, 104 coming at you, and so there's questions, and they're easy. Some yes or no, some maybe with an explanation, but I'm gonna roll with them right here. Okay. All right. Favorite park or city that you played in?
10 Caps.
Okay. A1 or Heinz 57?
I'm sorry, say it again.
A1 or Heinz 57?
Heinz 57. Got to get the catch up or whatever. Yeah.
Betts or Trump? And you know what I'm talking about.
Betts or Trump?
Trout. Sorry.
Oh, Betts or Trout? Trout.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Okay.
That's not even a question.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation. If you have an Xbox, get off the line.
Ocean or lake?
Ocean.
Apple or Microsoft?
Apple all the way.
Truck guy or car guy?
Truck.
Chicken or steak?
Chicken. Chipotle.
Okay, this one's for all the hip people out there, which I'm not. Okay. Travis Scott or Quavo?
Travis Scott. If anybody says Quavo, I feel bad.
Huh?
Travis Scott all the way.
Well, Migos, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no.
All right.
If you said Migos, then I would have changed a little bit. But if it's just Quavo,
Okay.
I'm going to
Okay, I got you. All right. See, I got bad intel right there. That's all I know. I got bad intel.
That's all right.
Favorite superhero?
Oh, good one. I would say Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk.
Nice. Cool. That's it, man. That was the Fuego round right there. Well, listen, hey, Will, really appreciate you taking the time today to be with me and kind of answer some of these questions. And hopefully some of these people are listening because you gave out some really great advice. And listen, we all hope that you have an incredible career and a long career. And good luck to you this year, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.